the Audi RS4 Avant. To some people it needs no introduction. To others it just looks like a regular Audi family wagon. But this is no regular wagon, because this is fast. It's silly fast. Oh my god! But this isn't like the RS4 that came directly before this model. No, this is more like the original generation B5 RS4, which had a twin-turbo 6-cylinder engine. And that's exactly what this has, a V6 with twin turbos. So, it's not a V8. If you're skeptical like me, you could be wondering whether losing the V8 also means it loses its want factor. But let me tell you, not if you judge it by its numbers. I'm talking 331 kilowatts, 600 newton meters, and a 0 to 100 time of 4.1 seconds. A decade ago, that was supercar territory. But as we all know, it's not how big the numbers are, it's how you use them. So, with Quattro all-wheel drive and an 8-speed automatic transmission, is it fun? Of course it's fun! Listen to it! Admittedly, it isn't as visceral an experience as the old V8 was, but what it is technically more impressive. So you've got the engine, which offers tremendous torque across a very broad rev range, an excellent transmission which will hold gears in sport mode longer than you'd think a technologically smart transmission would let you. That means that it will let you hit the red line, and it'll do it repeatedly. It'll hold gears with brilliant intelligence. It's a really smart drivetrain. Sure, there are going to be people out there who might turn their nose up because there is no V8. I understand that. I much preferred the old V8 noise, and I would do without the extra torque to have the sound of that old V8. But that's not where the world is right now. It's at a point where things have to be downsized, they have to be turbocharged in order to achieve better emissions and better fuel consumption. And the fuel consumption for this model is 17% better than the old V8. What it still has, of course, is Audi's Quattro all-wheel drive system, which offers tremendous traction, and the tyres on the 20-inch standard wheels are tremendously grippy as well. It's a clever drivetrain, and it gets the power down to the ground brilliantly. And this steering is probably the best I've sampled in an all-wheel drive Audi product. But it's not enough for me to complain about. It's not enough for me to be deterred about what the overall package of this car is, because it's really good. Now, I'm a huge fan of wagons, and I've got to say that Audi has excelled in recent years when it comes to getting the proportions and aggression just right with the RS4. This new model is no exception, from the sharp and angular LED headlights at the front to the sleek roofline and squared off haunches at the back. This thing just looks right. And it arguably gets even better inside. Standard equipment across the entire Audi RS4 range includes Audi's virtual cockpit display in front of the driver, a 12.3-inch configurable digital display that includes some RS special modes, including a big central tacho and a G-force meter. Of course, there's also a dash-top media screen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. There's wireless phone charging as well, if you option it. And of course, there are things like ambient lighting and plenty of safety technology. Press pause now for all the details, or you can read the review, which explains everything in detail. It's not just spec though, there are lovely finishes like these beautiful leather quilted seats which have a honeycomb finish which is designed to match the grille at the front of the car. They also have massage function and bolster adjustment, but once you find your perfect setting, you can set it using the memory bit, which is great, but only for the driver. You don't get that for the passenger. It looks and feels absolutely technically beautiful in here, and that's what Audi has done for ages. And the RS4 doesn't change anything, but it's a family wagon, so let's check out the back seat. I've set that seat for my driving position. I'm 6 foot tall and I have ample space back here. There's enough knee room, definitely enough headroom, and I could fit 3 of me across here, which is pretty good. Of course, there's things like a flip down armrest with a little storage cubby and a couple of cup holders as well, which pop out like that. That's pretty neat. And you get rear climate control standard as well. You get mesh mat pockets in the backs of the seats, and this is quite a hard wearing material, so little kids kicking it like they do on road trips, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. And also there are bottle holders in the doors, front and rear, and they're decent size as well, which is great. Now, on the topic of storing things, let's check out the boot. The boot is very practical with 505 litres of cargo capacity on offer. That figure is to the cargo cover, which includes an integrated cargo barrier net. So it's practical and powerful, but what about the price? Audi reckons it has added more than 20 grand of equipment to this new model, but it costs just 2 grand more. It's still a lot of money, but there's no denying that the new RS4 lives up to the brand's claim of it being a model that offers supercar performance with everyday practicality.